Good evening, Mrs. Tuyết Trần. I understand you're Dr. Trần Văn Đức spouse. Can you share with us your career before 1975?
Okay. My name is Tuyết Trần. I'm the pharmacist. And before 1975, I was a pharmacist. I was graduate in the School of Pharmacy in Saigon in 1970.
When did you get married?
Yeah, to get married, I get married in 1969. After 6 years we dating, and I met him when he was in the Turkey of the medical school, and I was a 12th grader. So I mean, I was really young. I think we met each other because we went to help the poor people. That's why I met him there.
So you met each other during your volunteer work in Vietnam.
That's right, because he was in the Tibet, and they have CMU. That's where the organization go to help poor people, and we try to give the medicine and console them, and we volunteer there. So that's why we met each other.
How was life like for your family before 1975?
Really, I was a student. I was a school of pharmacy student. So my life very simple. Just go to school, listen to the lecture, and go to the library and study, and take a test every year, and try to finish the school of pharmacy. And my father, he supported everything. My mother died when I was 6 years old. So my mother support. My father, he support the family with our children.
So you married before 1975. Could you share with us your married life, your life before the war, the war ended?
Thinking back by that time, I married on 1965, but I was in the last year of the school of pharmacy. And my husband, he was a medical doctor, so he had to go into the different city, and I stayed behind to go to school for the last year. And I think that I still remember, after get married, we had to visit him, and luckily I get pregnant. So the last year in the school pharmacy, I was pregnant, but I handled that, and I graduated in 1970. That's why I got the first child 1 month after that. After I get graduated, I was a pharmacist manager in the private pharmacy. Because in Vietnam, we don't have the company like Walmart actually here. Everything owned by private. So I share with another family to open the pharmacy. Because I get pregnant, I give her children. So I just stay home and take care of the children during the other people take care of the business. And I came in once in a while. Because in Vietnam, the pharmacists don't have to be present every day like in the United States.
How many children do you have?
I have 3 children, 1 boy and 2 girls.
Can you share with us, since you are a pharmacist and your husband is a doctor, your family life must be very comfortable. Right before the war ended, can you share with us how you managed for your family to leave Vietnam in 1975?
Yeah, I think in Vietnam the custom, about 50% couple is a medical doctor and the pharmacist. Because medical school and the pharmacy school, one time it was together until I think I don't remember, but 1968 or something like that, they separated into different schools. That's why the husband and wife always the medical doctor and the pharmacist. With our career, with our profession, I think our salary a little bit much better. So our life a little bit easy to compare with another family. And not just because the pharmacist and MD. I think my husband, he got a second job. And that job is plastic surgery. That's why I bring the salary of family really, really high. So I have two maids to live in. And I just stay home and take care of the children with me. So I went to study different hobbies, like how to sew, how to cook, to become better wife.
So in Vietnam, even though you're a pharmacist and you own a pharmacy with a friend, you don't have to work. I understand from Dr. Nick that before you left Vietnam, you had prepared all these bags of clothing and documents for the exodus of South Vietnam. What went through your mind? How did you know to prepare it first, whereas other families don't do that?
You know, because through the news, the communists keep coming down from Hue to the side, to the south. So a lot in North City, people try to escape and flee to south, get away from communists. And a lot of family, they have to go to the ocean to get to the big ship. And while they go in the small ship and go to the big ship, a lot of children falling on the parents' hand. And everybody have their own problem, so they don't worry to pick up the children. So the children get stabbed and die. That really broken my heart. Why people don't pick him up? I think because everybody try to survive himself. So see that picture through the news, I said no. I have to save my children at any cost. In Vietnam, they don't have a backpack. So I have to sew the backpack. So I can carry one, and my husband carry one, and he hold one child. So we have free hand to push people away maybe. Or we try to wrap some with some, you know how you say it, some string or something, so we can, some ladder, so we can go up to the ship if we have to go by the ocean or by the ship. So, but you know, during that's the one thing I repair. And another thing, I have so many friends. We need to get a lot of manifest to get out the country. You have to know American family, so they can sponsor you. They can sign the manifest to be able to get out. That's why the whole family, especially my father, you know, he's held the rice field, and he sold them about 2 months ago, and he passed 1 million PS at that time, each child. Everybody tried to get the way to escape. And if one person knows the way, let the other person know so we can go. And that's what we are repairing, because we hear a lot of story. So we're repairing. And even the night April 20th, I tried to pack all my belongings. What do I bring if I have to go by the ocean, by the sea? Maybe the picture, because the picture I can make it again, the films. So I put everything in one box. The money, by that time, it's not easy because the bank. And I just bought the house 9 months ago. So really the money, put everything in the house.
What was your feeling when you were preparing to leave Vietnam, leave everything behind? What was your feeling like?
It meant, you know, really down, because I don't know where exactly our future. Where do we go? American will take care of us, We have to go by different way. I don't know by that time. I have no idea.
So your feeling at the time was unknown. You want to leave Vietnam, to leave communists, but you don't know where to go. How about your friends? Do they prepare like you, that you know of?
Yeah, then I have several friends. We did repair. And by that time, my husband worked in the military, and he repairing the food for the soldier in the combat. So we have a lot, the food can, and the rice, rice. So I pack them first, because then if we go somewhere, at least we have some food for the children, because they were so young, 4 years old, 3 years old, and 18 months. So I mean, we don't want to be surprised, and so that's why I'm thinking about them first. And my friend, and even I have one friend, we go up and down, and try to get the manifest. We know, if we know the American family, we have hope. But by that time, we don't know anybody.
What was the scene in Saigon at the time, before the communists took over, that you can recall?
I think, a lot of people don't know yet. We know because we delay some people. That's why we try to prepare, but a lot of people still, maybe they did see them because through the news. They worry. They don't know when it happened to them. That's why on the day I stay home, because in the morning when I wake up, the airplanes flew through my house every 5 minutes. I said, oh. The airplane, they moved from the Bien Hoa airport to the Tân Sơn Nhất airport. Something wrong. That's why I stayed home. And my husband came home hurry and asked us to pack in 15 minutes. We have to leave. And I said, why? I said, because one of his sisters already in airport and called him to say goodbye. And if he want to leave, he need to bring the family to her house. And one of American will come pick us up. That's why he hurried home, and we left with the children to her house. By the time we get to her house, we're waiting for American to come to pick up. She came home because she forgot her birth certificate. And she said, you don't have any manifest yet. But if you want to go, could I take the children with me to live with the freedom to live by the sea? I said, no. If we live together. If we die together. Please, don't separate us. That's why she took us to her supervisor, and her supervisor gave us the paper so we can get into airport, into special building for American employee. She was a down employee, so she can be able to take her single brother and sister, but not the married brother or sister.
As a mom, you have your 3 children with you, and sometimes Dr. Duc went in and out because of his paper work. What was it like for you when you see all the chaos around you at the airport, and there you are with your 3 children, and Dr. Duc is nowhere to be found?
Yeah, it means, I was really scared because I took the children in a hurry. They wasn't barefoot, so they not be able to walk too far on the rocking road. And my sister-in-law say that each person only have 10 pounds. What do I pack? I pack only the sweater for 5 of us and take a lot of power already. And the can of food and rice is really heavy. But by the time I get to the airport building, I saw so many people with a big suitcase and letting go travel. I said, wow, I'm really packed very lightly. So, but in that time, my mind thinking about my sibling and my side of the family too. How I can call them, how I can let them know so they can be able to go with me. I'm worried, but I'm not be able to do anything. And in the airport by that time, they have 2 different buildings. My sister-in-law stayed in one building, and I stayed with them, with the 3 children. And they got manifest already, and she tried to get manifest for our family, and finally she got it. But no, my husband, I cannot see him. No sign of him at all. I don't know what happened to him. Because by that time, the MP walked around, tried to arrest the military-aged man. So I don't know, he's safe or not. Even I know he's a physician, and he did volunteer, try to help people surrounding us. So by the time my sister will leave with her manifest, she said that you don't have your husband right now. I will take you to his aunt, to my husband's aunt, another building. So if something happened, he might go there and you can go with his aunt. So we went there and waiting. But by 6 o'clock, American officer came in the building and started calling people to go. And I don't have any manifest under her name. I was scared. Where's my husband? How do I live without him? I don't want to do that. And he told me, you can go with me. If we have chow, we eat chow. If we have some food, we can share. I said, thanks for your offer, but I need my husband. The children need him. So I start crying because I really don't know what to do right now. And my children saw me crying and they start crying too. So I hold them. I say, God, please help me. If you want me to leave, doing something, because right now I don't know what to do. And you know, I think God always answers when you ask. In 5 minutes, the officer called after one family to another family. Excuse me. So many people left the building to went home. Because after 2 days waiting, they don't know what exactly will be. So they left. And the officer called many family to answer on his list. So he said that, I tear this paper, everybody in this building have to make the new list for me. Include the children, every one of them will live today. The airplane will come. So my aunt put our name, our family, in her list. That's why we have to manifest under her name. By that time, my husband showed up. I have so much joy and so much release. Wow, you here. And what I still hanging on my manifest, which my sister did it before. So we left the children to my aunt-in-law, and run to another building to see they call our manifest or not. But they already called, so it's no value. So we hurry back to the East End building. By the time we came back, 4 buses stayed in front of the building and full of people. Wow, it's scary. We might miss them again. The children already go with them. We might miss them again. So we went knocked to each bus and called her name. Cô Nga, cô Nga, cô Nga. Nobody answered. It scared us more. But when we get into the building, we saw they still stay peaceful in the building. We feel so released and try to catch our breath.
So at the end, you united with your husband and your sister. I understand also that you were evacuated through an airplane. Can you describe to us the scene at the time with your husband and your family, with 3 of your children in hand? The scene at the airport where you enter into an airplane, and how was it inside the airplane?
Yeah, let me after we sit down and relax, an American officer come and call the name, and we get in. And on the way to go to the airplane, they have several MPs standing there. It's so scary. If they saw my husband, they might arrest him. So he took one of the youngest child and holding her, tried to hiding from them. And that way we get to the airplane. I think it was a C-40, and it's the plane, they took all everything out, so it's completely empty in there. So it's a lot of people. We sit side by side, no chair, nothing, just side by side, and the children lay on the floor. And when it's full, they close the door and take off.
I also understand that you and your family went to Camp Pendleton in Pennsylvania in the very early May of 1975. Can you share with us how it was like at the camp? Were there a lot of people? Was there a lot of help? Can you share with us the life in Camp Pendleton?
Yeah, before we get to the Camp Pendleton in California, they flew us to Guam in the April 24, so we get Guam first. And we stayed there for 10 days. And on the April 30th, they broke the news about the communists took over. But during the Guam Island, we got the sponsorship from one of my husband's pathologist advisor. So we get moved into Camp Pendleton in May 2nd. I still remember in Camp Pendleton, this was in the valley. The temperature was about 55 degrees. Now we feel comfortable, but by that time, it's so cold and chilly and freezing. So even I put 3 blankets all over me, I'm still freezing. But next day, I saw the barrack, so I asked my husband, since he can speak English, I'm still have broken English. And so he went there and asked the family, can move it there. So we did stay in there. I think we are the first group, or the first few group to come to Camp Pendleton. So still be able to stay in the camp, and daily we go to the mass house to have the food. Because by that time I think the Marine military, they already have that. So they feed us really well, and we eat. Even we have to stay in line for a long time. And I have 3 children, so I have to take care of 3 children the most. My husband, he volunteered to Breast Cross, so you don't see him much. But lucky I have his family on the side. So they take care of help me to take care of 3 children. Even you know, it's amazing about the talented or the Vietnamese talented. You know the blanket I told you? And you know, they make the coat, beautiful coat in different design, so they can wear to protect them for the cold weather. Even you know, the military, this is a gray color, so all over you will see lady wearing the military blanket. Really very nice design. So means you know it's amazing about Vietnamese lady talent. And I mean you know that since I was young and I take care of the 3 children, so easy a little bit for me to take care of the children. But one day I remember I went to one camp, one tent, because I heard through the news, through the radio, whoever have the money, whoever have the loan, want to sell, they can sell them. I still remember one piece of loan, it's cost about $180 by that time. And it's so many people sell loan that time. So you can imagine. I came in, didn't have any time to go to the bank, just have whatever I have at the house, so not much in my hand, but so many people have loan to sell. And they have one story. I mean, you know, because we take the shower in the common bath, and you remember the lady always put belonging in gold and jewelry and money inside the bell, so nobody can see that. One time, one lady, she take a bath, she take a shower, she hang it on the shower rod, and she forgot to take it down and walk away. She lost it. It meant she was really very suffer. So that can be happen to anybody. There is so many things happen, and some people cry because they don't have the family together or the relative together. Like even me, I don't have my side at all. I'm really lonely with my husband's family. So I was writing too.
I understand that you and your family didn't spend a lot of time in Camp Pendleton. You got sponsored out very early, and your husband went for retraining for his medical degree. Can you describe your feelings and thoughts at the time when your family came out and lived as a private citizen of the U.S. and he went through medical school training, and you took care of. Can you describe your thoughts? Being almost like a single mother with 3 children.
Yes. You think that could I tell you a little bit more than that? Okay. So when I came to San Antonio on May 25th, you know, we had the Dr. Arpither through the Grass Guard. We knew him, so he signed the sponsorship. So we got out the Camp Pendleton that early. But he had to leave us in about 7 or 10 days. So, but one thing, I have to appreciate him so much. He really willing to help us any cost, anything. I still remember every day he bring the blanket, he bring the silver, he bring the newspaper. Every day he just bring them and give it to us to live on in the apartment, 1 bedroom for 5 people. But their care, his care, that really touched us a lot. I just asking him, could you send me to the library to study English? My husband went to the job in Lackland Air Force Base with the optician. So during that time, I stay home and take care of the 3 children. I'm not a shy person. I try to learn English as fast as I can, because with down my support, my strength, I think the children won't learn fast, or I cannot support my husband. So I try to do much as I can. So when he get home from work, I took the children already fed to the bus stop, and so he can take it home, and I went to the library to study. I think God take care of us really, because Dr. Arbiter live in 7-10 days, who will take care of us? And during I went and study English, I met one captain. He's the sponsor of one Vietnamese man, and he cannot speak any English at all. So I'm act like interpreter between 2 of them to help them communicate. And through the story I'm telling him, and he say, you both professional. You both cannot live like that. You have to come back to where you were before. I will introduce you to one physician. He's the pathologist, the same, the specialist like my husband too. And one day, when I'm home with the 3 children, I heard a knock on the door. I opened the door, and I saw one really very educated man, and he introduced to me, I'm the Dr. Harper, come to help your family. What I can do for you. That emotion, that moment, I'm really speechless. I heard one person will come and help me, but I didn't expect that so soon. He came in, and he listened to me what I'm asking him. He said, okay, I will take care of your family from now on. Tell your husband I'll be back next week. And next week, Dr. Arbiter and Shirley Harper, they both came to the house and asked us to come to his house for the dinner. So he took us home for the dinner. They had 2 boys. After the dinner, he said, I have one gift for you. I thought, maybe it's just a small money or something to help us, because he said he would take care of us. He took down the garage, and he showed the Volkswagen, this car for you. What else you can expect? What else I'm really crying. My husband and I, we really crying. I didn't know that we got that generous person willing to do everything to help us. Because he said that you too need to get back your profession to support your family for your future. Whatever I can do, I will do it. And they did. Then when Shirley Harper, she took me shopping everywhere. And she said, "Shirley, buy everything you need. But for my heart, I cannot do that. I just ask her something I need." But and through the news, my husband can go back to his profession through the training. So he said that, "You go ahead, go. your wife and 3 children, I take care of that. So I got the CT program. So I went to the CT, that's a government. So I studied GED for my English. And after I passed that test, I went to the library assistant to study that course too. And through that course, I applied to Health Science Center with my BS degree, and they accept me as a research assistant. During that time, Dr. Randall and Shirley put 3 children in the Jack and Jill daycare. So I can go to school and go to work without worry until I got the job, research assistant.
It is great that you have somebody who's so generous. I also understand that when you first came, Dr. Đức has to go to work as a janitor and also work in the gas at the gas service station. What was your feeling like when you see your husband work as a janitor when he was a medical doctor in Vietnam, and your life completely changed from being very comfortable to working as a laborer? What was your feeling?
I mean, it's really broken my heart. Because suddenly about 1 month, our life changed completely to the comfort zone. I have the good and have 2 men living, I don't have to worry anything. And now I have to start from beginning. But I think my nature, I don't give up. I have to go up, go back to where I was. So when he worked in the hamburger, and the lady asking him to do the janitor job, he came home and cried. What do I do now? I have to do like janitor like this? I was a medical doctor and now I do that. I have to console him. Please, this is not our country. You have your wife and 3 children to live on you, to hang on you. If you don't go to work, we don't have money for the food. We don't have money for the rent. So just sacrifice you for a short time. And I do the same thing, but for our children's future. So be strong. We might find something else later. So maybe that's the lesson for us, to understand how the poor people, we're helping them before. So now we live in their shoes, we understand more. But be strong. Our family will be back to our profession and to back our life.
Was there a lot of moments like that when Dr. Đức came home, having to flip hamburger or clean the bathroom? Was there a lot of moments when he comes home and just feeling really bad about the whole situation?
Lucky we only for 10 days. And he quit that job. And he went to Santa Rosa to be the phlebotomist, to draw the blood. And that time, he will feel much better. Because at least he doesn't use his license to be a doctor, but at least he can use his skill to draw the blood and to help people, so the doctor can find out what the illness they have. So he feels much better that. But after that, we met the doctor after, and we heard the story about the Oklahoma University opened the training class for all the Vietnamese physicians. So that's why he went. And during he went there for 3 to 4 months, I stayed home, take care of the children. And I still remember I already got the job as a research assistant. So I went to work and take care of the children. During the children go to Jack and Jill, and when they get home at night, I'm teaching them and try to read the book for them, the Bible for them, and try to help them to, to live much, much better. But I still remember one time I asked them something. I said, "Oh, my brother," that's just another language. They learned it from the daycare. But I do it without hesitation. I think I'm strong. Try to support my husband to get back the degree. Because if he get back the degree, he have his own professional bank. The financial of the family will be better. The life children will be better. And maybe I can be able to go back to school to get my degree back too. So I can do anything, try to help them without thinking. I think daily, I just need to fulfill daily and improve myself and let the children enjoy it because they don't know anything.
So during the time that Dr. Luc has his residency, his 4 years residency, you had to go to work. You sacrificed a lot of yourself for your family and for your husband. Did you feel anything like you have other choices? That you and Dr. Luc has other choice, or is that the choice that you chose?
I think, we're lucky enough by then. And I have a job. He got the residency. That's the way we wanted it. So, we should go to work and helping him while he on call. I stay home with the 3 children and I take care of them as much as I can. And I think they're a good kid. So I have no problem for that at all. So lucky, I think we're lucky.
I also understand that during his residency, he also got stipends. So your family lives a little bit more comfortable than when you first started out. Did you then thinking that you had to go back and get your degree, or did you start that earlier, before his residency?
No, I think when I worked in the lab, in the research assistant of the cancer research, I would check the lab too. And because I think I communicate with a lot. The cancer research lab in the Health Science Center in San Antonio, it was graded 11 of the international. So we got a lot of visitors, a lot of different doctors came and study our program. So that's why I have occasion to show them the technique. That's why I improve my English a lot. And while working in the lab, my friend, they were the pharmacists, and they went back to UT, the School of Pharmacy at UT in Austin. The last year of the school, they came and knocked my door every day. Go back to school, go back to school. I said, I know that, but I have 3 kids. They're only 6 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. You think I can believe I can be able to leave them home while my husband's still in school? But you need to go back to school. You cannot be the chief of the lab when your husband moves. You'll be stuck from the bottom again. And I'm listening. And I went home and discussed with my husband, since he's the last year after his residency. When you right away, you don't know where you're going. Are you staying in San Antonio, or you move somewhere else. We don't know because you don't have the job yet. So what happened to me? Now I think our financial much better, my English a little bit better. I can go back to school. If you think you can stay home, take care of 3 children. He said yes. He's willing to do that. That's why I appreciate him so much for that. And I follow my friends. She was in the last year at the school of pharmacy in UT at Austin. She introduced me to the assistant dean, Dr. Yanji. I prepared paper. I was a research assistant, but we did the stem cell assay. So the Dr. Warnhop, he's the one to conduct that test. So I brought his paper to talk about that and bring it to show Dr. Yanji. That's my work right now. He read that. He said, wow, you did a lot. You're really overqualified for the school of pharmacy. I think I can take you in. Lucky by that time my English, not completely really fluently yet, but I can communicate really well with him. So I still go through the interview just like American student to get in the school of pharmacy. I have to go through 3 interviews by 3 different professors. Each of them, after listening to me, they don't talk, they don't ask about professional anything, they just ask about story this and story that, to see how my English is. That's all they ask. But after that, they stand up, they shake my hand. I accept your district. That's why I got in the school of pharmacy. Even I didn't have the result of TOEFL test. Because most people have to go to UT first before they go to school of pharmacy. But Dr. Yanchik, he did arrange somehow. I went in, whipped out the result TOEFL, but I already took the test. And he said, don't worry, I take care of the UT part. You should go home and pack and be in school in January. And I passed the TOEFL test with 516 later. He said, see, you qualify everything. Now you're ready to go to school and study to be a pharmacist again.
What was your feeling at the time when they told you that you're accepted?
I felt, because my friends had to go UT for different semester to different semester to be able to apply to school of pharmacy. And I jumped in right away. He said, God take care of me. I still remember, I would like to share with you. When I was in the high school, when I was in the 12th grade, I was a very good student, almost the top of the class. And I want to be a doctor. But I love, I read a lot about the novel, and I love to be in chemistry engineering, to do a lot of different outfits, different fabrics, so it will make a lot of lady wearing beautiful fabric. That's why I want to be that too. And in Australia, they do have the scholarship. I applied for that, and I got it. I passed everything. I got the physical exam, everything ready to go. And and my family want me to become the pharmacist. They say pharmacist boring, just pushing pill. That's all. And so I say, I don't know what to do. 3 things. What do I want to be? I don't want to regret if I choose the wrong one. By that time, I went to the cathedral, the Đức Bà, nhà thờ Đức Bà in Vietnam. I prayed to Mẹ Hằng Cứu Giúp. I said, please, help me and choose for me, decide for me. Leave me only one door, close the other door, 2 doors, so I won't regret. whatever you choose for me, I will follow you. I will do it. You know what? The doctor competition test, I thought I did so well, I failed. The scholarship, I'm almost go, certainly that day, that year, they said every 25 candidates have to come in and do the essay because they have experience. They went to the Australia, their English not good enough to study for the college. I failed. I still remember the question they asked. One day, if you go to the farm, what do you do? I said, okay, I will enjoy it. I will hop to the horse and run around and enjoy it with my horses. That's all. I don't have anything to write out anymore. And I look around, my friend doing that, and I'm just blocked. That's why I failed.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
And the pharmacy competition test, they took 400 students for that year. I passed the 10th of 400. You believe that? I didn't study, but I think sure I'm studying for the medical school. That's why helped me a lot. That's the way the Holy Mother want me to be. God want me to be. I'm just follow her way. Xưng vâng. Say that.
Can you share with us when you got your pharmacist degree at UT?
You know, they were, I think by that time, still early, and they took us our grades for through the UT. So I went back to school instead of 3 years, only for 2 years, include the undergraduate history and government. So I went to school day by day, and during that time the children in school and my husband already in the residency. And so they stay in San Antonio. I had to leave San Antonio to go to Austin to study on Sunday night. After I cooking the whole meal for them for the whole week. And study every day from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock to study, and went home on Friday night, early Friday afternoon, took them to the piano lesson, and Saturday I went back to work. Even I left my research assistant, but I didn't get the scholarship, or I didn't get any financial either. So I have to go back to ask my Dr. Wanhao, I need to want to work. And he said, you can come anytime you want to. I will pay. So that's why I'm just come and do exactly what I need to do, because it was my job too. So that's the way I studied for 2 years. And the last year, my husband already graduated and took the job to the airport, to the Fort Riley in Kansas. I have stayed behind 6 more months to finish my school and take care of the children before I can union with him in Kansas.
I really your life and go through all the struggles and all the hurdles that you went through, yet you both are strong and committed to build your life for your family, a better life for you and your family. With all the sacrifice that you do, commuting from San Antonio to Austin weekly, how do you feel when you left your 3 children with your husband, who was still in residency at home, and you were studying and staying in Austin?
You know, the first time I'm hesitated, but I think my children, they did really well. They very well behaved, especially my older daughter. She's really the older sister. she take care of the children, the brother and sister very well. So they help my husband to take care of that. I cooking and put in the freezer so they get them out and defrost and eat them at night. And once in a while, my husband, he's a good cook too. So he give them the steak, so they love it. So they eat about 3 steaks 3 times a week. That's an easy one for him. But I think, you know, my husband, he's really, you know, very, how you say, the handyman. That's why when he was in the Oklahoma school for training to get back the professional, and I say that the school gives you the degree, but I think I give you the degree of the cheap, because now you know how to cook. Because during he stayed there, they have to eat. So he called home, how do I cook bún? How do I cook rice? How do I cook the gà xào xả or something like that? So you know, he always asks so they can eat. And that's why he can help me when I was in the school, the pharmacy. So he can take care of the children very well.
Can you describe your feelings being in Austin? Is it hard for you to leave your family weekly like that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard. I miss them. That's why I went to school from 8 to 11. Put everything really hurry. You believe that I took 17 credit hours every semester, not include history and government. So I study. And I think my English still not really fluently to got all the lecture note down very well like in Vietnamese. But luckily I have friends. They always help me. I took their note and read from their note. And what I missed on my note, I set it on my note. That's why I study. And from the book, I added on my note and I study. And I think I have to say that I'm smart enough and I'm learning really fast. That's why I can be able to finish the school soon enough to be back with the children and get back to my degree and my professional, so I can join them and become the family again. So I graduated in December 1981, and I took the test in March 1982. And I passed the test in 1982. That's when I become the American pharmacist again. So that feels so good.
Yeah, congratulations. So with Dr. Đức being a full-fledged MD and you're a full-fledged pharmacist, when did you buy your first house?
Actually, I bought the house in San Antonio. When I already got the job research assistant, and when he got the job, when he accepted the residency in pathology department, we said, wow, we have enough salary, enough income for the family. Why do we have to pay for the rent? We can afford for the house now. But I don't have down payment yet. So when we get the down payment, I still remember it's about $1,500. And I think we have to ask the note one more time. So I took all my, how do you say that, effort and how it, because it's not easy to ask somebody else. It's not special, not your relative. I went to Shirley and asked her, Shirley Harper. And Dr. Harper, I say, we need to sit down and ask you something. I said, okay, what? We want to buy the house. Wow, that's a good idea. So, but we don't have down payment. How much you think you need? See, he doesn't refuse. He always answers yes. And they said 1,500. Don't worry, we take care for you.
How big was the house at the time?
This was about 1,500 square feet for 4 bedrooms. I think it cost about 44,000 by that time. It's good enough. It's big enough for the children. And it's in a good neighborhood. It was in the Leon Valley in San Antonio.
You
So-
share with us your feelings.
We're so happy. Now we have the house again. We're not staying in the apartment. I mean, you know, we did move apartment 1 bedroom to the 2 bedroom, but still small. And now we have the big house now. And the children, I mean, you know, so I can train them how to, you know, to organize the room and everything. And they have a good neighbor, and they have the school. It's a good school system. Leon Valley, it was the school system very good.
Can you share with us your challenges being a mother of 3 who came here with nothing and went back to school and get your pharmacy degree? Are there challenges that you face at the time?
No, I think being without my mother, I think I'm a very independent person because I grew up everything I had to do a lot of things by myself. Even the financial, my father took care of everything. And my sister owned it and I did. But through that situation, I become very strong person. Maybe I'm not the very like the easy and charming lady, but I'm more like a strong person. If I decide to do something, I will willing to follow until I get it. So maybe that's why I don't feel any struggling to be able to get back my degree, my profession, or to help support my husband because he needed it. All my heart, I'm willing to sacrifice, do everything to let my children have a better life. And they don't have to go through whatever I did. And they will have much better life in America. Here, the land opportunity, everybody can grow, everybody can success. And we have to thank to American friends. They really accept who we are. Even sometimes to try through my pharmacy professional, I got a lot of time because of my English, because of my accents. Since I'm the pharmacist, I'm the manager, and through the phone, they don't understand me. Through person to person, they got it, but through the phone. I don't get what you say. I mean, you know, I got a lot. Even one time, I remember, one physician called it in Egyptian. I took it, but I always asked a second again and again until I'm fluently, completely got the good Egyptian because that's for the patient health. And he called my supervisor and complained. She cannot speak English very well. I have very strong support from my district pharmacist manager. He said, you'll be able to do a lot of different things. Go to see him, and he will understand where you are. I went to his office and talking to him and talking to all receptionists, all the nurses. And he said, I don't have any problem with you. Why on the phone? After that, we become friends. So they teasing me all the time when we're on the phone. So, you know, person-to-person contact, always much better than the phone. And right now, when I used to work at GB, I left at GB and go to Colorado through my husband's job. I come back to work at Walmart Pharmacy. one doctor, he called Rick Gibson, and he said, "Your voice sounds familiar. I knew you somewhere." And he paused a little bit. "Oh, I remember now. You was a pharmacist with HGV in North Lamar. Because you always say that, sure do." After I took vacation. That's why the kids in, through the years I'm working, I got a lot of friends, even on the phone. So I feel so good about it.
So with your career as a pharmacist, your challenge with the language barrier, are there any challenges that you faced during your career as a pharmacist that you
It's so
can
many.
recall?
Yeah, it's so many. Because the customer is a patient. They were sick. They didn't feel well. So they came into pharmacy, expect everything done for them immediately. And if they have to wait in line, they're frustrated. Or if they have the problem with the insurance, they're frustrated. Everything is a pharmacy job. Not. Because they don't understand about what the procedure of the insurance, a lot of procedure inside the pharmacy too. And we are the pharmacists, we are the manager. We have to be humble. We have to be patient so we can educate them what's going on, so they can be patient. Because we willing to serve as much as we can. Because we understand their health, understand their illness. We try for them to get better. So we understand their frustration.
So I understand that's the frustration towards all pharmacists. With you being a Vietnamese, do you have challenges, or do people expect or treat you differently?
Yeah, the first 2 years I came home and cried a lot. Because they see my face, they see my English, and she become the pharmacist and how she can take care of me. But I think through the year, I understand my job. So that's why,
Okay. Count through 1, 2, 3, go.
Can you share with us, being a Vietnamese pharmacist, do you face any challenges as a Vietnamese pharmacist? Any discrimination? Anything that you can share?
Yeah, imagine the first 2 years after I graduated, I came home and cried a lot. Because my English, my experience, a lot people have already have the idea, I'm the Chinese, I'm the Vietnamese, how she can help me, how she can explain it to me. Even they understood, but they still have that feeling. I have to overcome. And sometimes I have the rough patient. I have to sit down and talk to them, and even my supervisor have to help me to do that too. It's so many things, but I think throughout the year, I learned it. I try to speak a little bit slower, and I try to be friendly with them. Even I was friendly, but I think I have to understand more. And not because I'm not be able to do that, but I have to work harder to convince them, I'm your pharmacist. You trust me, I will take care of you. That's why I gained their trust. And years by years, I know how to deal with the problem, how to serve people, how to even helping my technician. We work together, become a good team. and make the environment a little better. When they saw that, they said, yes, you do a good job. And she trusts me. Even the year I worked, by that time we don't have the computer yet. They just come to me, dude, I need my medicine. I have to remember what medicine they take so I can refill for them. I think, through the communication, through the relationship, I build that trust. And I overcome what I have when I was first graduated. But through, let's see, I practicing since 1992, and I just retired 2012. So really 30 years. So really, through 30 years, I went through a lot. And I'm thinking I did my job. I did help people. I did improve myself. And I really helping the younger pharmacists, the co-worker, how to serve the people, how to make their life much better.
Can you recall any incident or at any time that is very vividly remembered about the challenge that you face regarding you are Vietnamese?
That's the doctor. He called my supervisor because he said that she cannot speak English very well. But after that, we got it. And several high-educated customers, they're very demanding. And they really faced me too. But I think through the pharmacist relationship, we're helping each other. And my supervisor always support me. That's why my challenge always have that. But through their knowledge, through their support, it lessened my problem and helped me a lot. But the last 10 years or 15 years, I have no more problem at all. And because I know how to build that trust and how to serve them, you're willing to do everything. And they understood.
So you have to work harder than anybody else.
Exactly.
Because you're not an American.
That's right.
Because you don't look like an American. I'm sorry, I should say you're not an American, you are an American because you're here, but you don't look like an American. I understand now that you're retired. Can you share with us your life now? What you do now?
I feel so good, but I still miss something. I miss my friends, I miss my customer, I miss my co-worker, special the motivation. Every morning, you wake up, you have to go to work to serve people. That's why you're willing to, how you say that, stand up right away and go. But now, I don't have anything any obligation at all. I'm just relaxed, sleep late, wake up late. But I think that's why I miss the most. But I'm the person always active. I don't think that I let me down. I will find something to motivate me again. Just like right now, I've been helping my daughter. She has 2 children, and she have tough time to find a nanny. So I did help her, and now she can depend on me and call me anytime she needs it. Before, she doesn't dare to call Mom because she at work. And now she said, Mom, could you come tomorrow and pick up my kid? Like yesterday, I'm off her. Your son's sick. Call the doctor appointment. I will go to the daycare, pick up your child, and bring to the doctor and take it home. She appreciates it the most because I love them too. So it's good to be retired, especially with my husband's health right now. He needs me the most. So I be there with him, whatever he needs, I can be present. But I still remember one time, he had a problem. I was in the pharmacy. I cannot shut down the pharmacy and go home. But luckily, they saw the problem before I had to shut the pharmacy to go home. So that's why I say, I'm 65 now. I have 30 years to work, and I don't take, and all my children are the profession. That means, you know, they can take care of themselves, they can take care of their children. Right now, only take care of me and my husband. Why I don't retire and do something else? I can do some hobby, something I wish to do before when I was at work. I can take time to do that.
Is there anything else you want to share that I haven't asked?
I think, you know, through the time I'm living and I'm working, I think the young generation, it means, you know, we're working hard like we did, because we still are Vietnamese American, but I think they have easier life than we do. But please, don't forget their heritage. Don't forget their culture, and try to keep as much as they can, because the Vietnamese custom is still very plus for their life. The Vietnamese language, if they can speak, still the plus. So keep their source, their heritage, so they can be the better person for their children, and keep the children like we've been, keep them in the Vietnamese culture, so they can be proud of the Vietnamese American.
So how do you think you want to be called? Are you an American?
I think we're Vietnamese American, whatever what, because this is our second country. We can go back to Vietnam to visit. We can stay there too, but your life, your love is for the children, for the grandchildren. And they here in America. So I think we choose this country to be our country. But I hope the young generation can do something to help the Vietnam won't be the communist anymore. So they can come home where they born, where they come from, in the peaceful way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.